A2CN live, you know it's our favorite time. Turn it up and listen up and let's go take a dive. It's the show that does the most, and yes, we're streaming coast to coast. Bump it up and buckle up and let's go take a drive. Engaging the culture and spending our sense. Too many reasons we gotta speak in 3 days. Heroes, you still relevant. For college students, ladies and gents, relating, connecting, reflecting, very thought-provoking. Acts to life, yeah, that's right. A2CN live right now.
Hello everyone and welcome to A2CN Live. We're your hosts. I'm Steven and I'm in a different chair today.
I'm Esther and I'm also in a different chair.
I'm Justin.
I keep spinning. A2CN is an online Christian organization reaching college students everywhere. We're creating content and community for students to talk about God, the Bible, and life over the internet. And we'll be exploring some of the hottest topics for college students and what God has to say about them. So today we are going to tackle the question, what does God want me to major in? So it can be hard to choose a major in college, but it gets even more complicated with God in the picture. Because maybe God wants you to do engineering instead of history, or English instead of science, or maybe he wants you to do pre-med or be a medical missionary. Who knows? We'll get to that. But first, it's Friday night, so let's have a little bit of fun. Let's do a little bit of a put it in the chat.
Yes, so
Nice.
We've got a little something special lined up today that none of the three of us are particularly excited about, and you'll see why.
But you're going to enjoy it.
Yeah, here's how it's going to go. At the beginning, we're going to ask you guys for 3 basic facts that the hosts have to guess about each other. For example, what is your favorite color? Or how many siblings do you have? Then we'll have to guess that basic fact about each other. And each time we get the answer wrong, we'll have to eat something special that some of the A2CN team has provided for us. And you guys will find out what those are when it comes around. And I think that's it for the rules. So if you guys could start putting the different basic facts in the chat, we will pick 3 of them and then get going.
All right, get your clipboards here.
Yes, get my
And your
clipboard ready.
markers.
My marker. Here we go.
Does marker
Basic
work?
facts. Basic facts.
All right, let's get some basic facts in here.
Does this work?
Oh,
Yes, it does.
Steven clapped 3 times already.
Yes, I did. Nice.
What's your last name?
Tuesday.
Something you're allergic to.
Tuesday, something.
Oh, something you're allergic to.
That's a pretty good one.
This is not for Justin.
No, that's you guys know. Already know.
Let's do that one. Favorite songs. Wow.
Oh, that's a good one.
Wow,
Eye
that's-
color, we
that's
can
hard.
see each other.
Eye color.
What city were you born? How tall are you?
What
Hometown?
city you were born in?
That's pretty good.
That's-
Okay,
that's a basic
so
fact.
question number 1 is, what city were you born in?
Who are we doing that for?
That can be for Esther.
Esther. Okay.
All right.
All right.
What city was Esther born in?
Should we get all the questions first? Or should we just-
Sure. How about sibling order, Justin?
No.
No?
That's,
Yes, yes,
no,
yes.
That's easy. That's too
Sibling
easy.
order me.
Okay, Steven's sibling order.
Okay.
And then for me, social security
Social security number.
Um,
That's not a basic fact. That's
Oh, first job. That's a good one. Oh, favorite ice cream flavor.
we can't do first job.
Oh, what? I'm sorry, I went there.
Favorite ice cream flavor, how about? No,
How about
let's
pet
do-
peeve? Pet peeve. Pet peeve.
Pet peeve. Okay,
Pet peeve.
I have one in mind already.
Pet peeve for
All right,
Justin.
so let's start with Esther's then.
Okay. Esther's is
What was Esther's?
My city that I was born in.
Oh, City's
You are going to
This
get
is
this
so
wrong,
difficult.
and you're going to have to...
help me out. Help me out.
Wait, where are you from?
I can't tell you that.
Where's she
guess.
from?
I don't know. Oh man, I'm gonna have to eat something.
Something bad.
Oh,
Get something
no.
bad. In the meantime, I'm just going to, grab our punishments.
Okay. Which one was yours again? Pet peeve?
Yeah. Oh, are we doing all of them at
Oh, my
once?
gosh.
Okay.
Oh no, we're not. We're not. Just one at a time.
Okay,
One at a
yeah.
time.
All right. What are y'all going to eat?
Okay, I have mine for Esther.
Okay, ready?
All right, read.
Should we turn at the same time?
3.
Wait.
Are you doing mine too right now?
Oh no, okay, I'll just
Okay.
Esther's first.
3, 2, 1.
LA.
Oh, right.
How did you get
Very nice. Very nice.
Oh, man.
I can't believe I got
That's
that.
that's
Okay,
actually
so-
so lucky. That's so
Wow,
lucky.
that was amazing.
Y'all are
Alright.
just lucky.
Yes.
Oh,
All right,
man.
we'll do yours
I
next
don't
time.
get to eat anything weird.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What was mine?
Sibling order.
Sibling order.
sibling order.
Got it.
Okay.
Sibling order. Oh, I don't have to guess for this one. Sibling
Oh
order.
boy.
No, I don't want to eat something weird.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Middle child?
Only child.
Middle child.
Oh boy, that's rough.
Yes.
That's rough.
Okay.
Steven
Are we
gets
gonna do
to
it at the
pick-
end? Are you gonna eat first or do it at the
Oh,
end?
let's do it at the end.
Do
Let's
it
do
at
it
the end.
Okay.
Okay, do it at the
Okay.
end. Okay.
All right.
Wow, you thought I was the only child? Why?
I don't know. I just guessed.
Okay.
But I
Next.
want to know why she thought I was a middle child too.
Wait, what's the
then-
question?
Okay, this one is pet peeve.
Pet peeve.
Oh, for Justin.
Yeah, I have a very specific one in mind. I'll write it down.
Oh no, I suddenly feel like I have what wrong.
All right, ready?
Okay.
Yeah.
Ready?
3, 2, 1.
Puns.
Punch. Bad joke.
Turn signals.
Turn signals?
People who don't use their turn signals, literally, it takes less than a fraction of a second, and just being considerate to everyone else on the road. So people who don't use turn signals, like,
Well, you know what? We're in a democratic society, so we both put puns. I think
no.
you're wrong.
So you have to eat
not how it
something.
I think you have
That's
to eat
not how it
twice.
works. All right.
Okay.
It seems like I already know what I want you two to eat. Well, what do you guys want to eat?
Not
You know,
those, not those.
You can pick for me first. How about
Okay, I'll pick for you first. What, Esther? What you help me
All
out?
right, we have some silkworms.
Oh, sick. Okay, silkworms. Silkworms.
Okay, we gotta open this.
then we're all eating silkworms because
No,
we're all
And snails.
You're gonna do
Snails.
silkworms?
No.
No. If you're gonna do silkworms, I'm gonna do the Bugitos coconut brittle. What is that?
Oh, you want to eat
The
the
Bugitos.
No,
Bugitos?
I want you to eat that.
On the oh
Oh my gosh!
no!
Guys.
Are you sure?
Oh my god!
Oh, jeez. I don't know.
Let me see that.
Is there any way to show the camera? This is actually disgusting.
What is wrong with Korean food?
Oh man, I can't show them. Here, maybe I'll just take a picture of it on the stage, and
Oh.
I
then
gotta
we'll
feel
show
like
it
that.
later.
Oh my god. This looks bad.
All right, well,
Okay, well no, so me and Esther have to eat something that you choose, but you have to eat something that I choose. 'Cause you got
Yeah,
my question,
yeah,
right? Okay,
yeah.
so I want
Alright.
you to eat
the mealworm,
the meal. Yeah, the brittle. What is that?
The brittle, the
mealworm
Bugito.
brittle.
Mealworm
Hey, this
brittle.
is not too bad though. This is
Mealworm
coated
brittle.
in like chocolate.
Okay.
No, it's not.
Wow. This
Okay,
is
I can go
this is
first.
what Justin is eating right now. This is so gross.
It's so pixelated. I don't know if you can tell what it is, but
okay.
yo, why are these so big? These chunks are huge. Oh boy. Oh, this is gonna be really gross. Oh, this is not too bad.
Oh!
I see.
Oh,
I see.
that's big.
Oh, you like that?
Oh.
Oh, there's
No.
It's
oh
Go
my
go close.
gosh.
Go close to the camera. Show
oh,
them.
there's no lighting over there. But basically, it looks like a piece of peanut brittle that mealworms crawled into and died.
Ah.
'Cause they're just whole mealworms here.
Why did we come up with this game?
All right.
Eat it. Eat it.
All right. Everyone in the chat. Justin.
Why did I
Justin.
eat dinner?
Justin.
Oh, let's get it over with.
Do it.
Oh!
Gross.
That was the taste
You want some Yakult?
isn't terrible. Just pretend like you didn't see whole mealworms in it. It's actually okay.
Okay. All right.
But it's really hard when you just
Yeah.
saw it.
You know, while he's eating, we'll just go on to our next segment now.
Wait, what the heck?
Yeah. Anyway, moving on.
Okay. We gotta eat. We gotta move on. We gotta move on.
Here, take
Okay.
a plate each.
Here's
and
my
I'll-
plate.
No, not those, please.
All right.
No.
One.
I don't want to.
Wait, why?
Why? What are
the
you putting
chunk
two
I
on
ate
there?
was so
I
big.
can't.
Oh my gosh. I'm gonna
No.
try. I'm gonna try to show this to you guys. Can you see that? Oh, look at that.
Okay.
Silkworms.
Okay, I can do
Sick.
this.
Oh man.
You know what?
Oh, okay.
They look like little
They're all-
beans.
I'm
Okay.
just like,
Can you give me the
My
Yakult?
hand's like shaking.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
want to prepare with the Yakult. And give
Oh,
me
is
the
it yours?
fork.
Oh gosh.
Oh,
we
boy.
actually brought some Yakult there to whoo. Okay.
Gonna
That's-
Oh
feel
man,
easy.
this is disgusting. Okay, I'm just gonna eat. I'm not even gonna look at what I'm eating. I'm just gonna chew really, really fast.
Ready?
Also-
Also,
Ready?
if you're gonna
One.
throw up, just stop eating because
Two.
we can't.
Three.
1, 2, 3.
You dropped one. You can't just drop it. Here, eat another one.
No, I can't do this. Okay. They're
Here you
not,
go.
how do they taste? Are they good?
I'm just trying not to think about it.
Let me just
Oh, you can just eat one then.
Okay, one. This is like a little pinto bean.
Yeah, it's a pinto bean.
Why did we start the show this way?
Oh, it's juicy.
Oh, don't say that. Okay, we're going to get this out of here.
It's like a
Wow.
Oh, jeez.
All right. Anyway,
It's juicy. It's crispy. It's like sort of hollow-ish. Yeah, that's pretty gross. Yeah,
still feel it in
doesn't
my
taste
mouth.
like silk. All right, should we move
Well, we're
on?
gonna move
You guys,
on,
I hope
and-
you guys enjoyed that segment.
we didn't. All right, we got a new segment for you, and it's called College Tips. We know that college can be pretty rough going, so
Just
we wanted
like
to.
eating this stuff. Can be
Yeah,
pretty
just like
rough
eating
going.
silkworms.
Yeah.
So we wanted to help you out since most of you are probably using this platform for your online classes. We're going to give you some Zoom tips. Take it away, Duncan.
What a transition.
My name is Duncan, and like many of you college students out there, I got enrolled in Zoom University. Woo, yeah! So times have changed, and the pandemic has really evolved the way we do a lot of things, and college is no exception. Now, college has evolved to fit into your laptop screen, and while video conferencing tools like Zoom are amazing at what they do, it's just not quite the same as in-person classes. Now, I'm no expert, but in my time taking online classes, I've learned a few things that I'm going to share with you guys, and hopefully they can improve your experience with online classes. We'll talk about 3 things: focus, fatigue, and the spacebar. So first off, focus. It was hard enough already being in an actual classroom with your laptop, your phone, your iPad, your smartwatch. But now, you're in your own room. And before you know it, that one browser window that you opened up to check the definition of something your professor mentioned explodes. With a major distraction like the internet, self-control is key. There's a bunch of options out there when it comes to blocking access to distracting websites. BlockSite is a popular one for the Chrome browser. Another popular option is Cold Turkey. It works across all your browsers. You set your block schedule once, and then it works for all your browsers all through. There are many other tools that do the same thing as BlockSite and Cold Turkey. But the point is, do your research and find out what works best for you. By now, I'm sure you've heard of Zoom fatigue. But if you haven't, maybe this might help. One hack that I've been using is an app called Flux. Flux lets you control the amount of blue light coming out of your laptop screen. The debate is still out on this, but there's a significant level of consensus that blue light strains your eyes more, thereby resulting in more fatigue. By using Flux, you can lower the amount of blue light that comes off your laptop screen, and therefore feel less tired after taking your classes. If you'd prefer not to use Flux, there's also blue light glasses, which basically do the same thing, and you can get them off Amazon. But yeah, Flux and blue light glasses, and you're good to go. And the last tip of the day, the spacebar. So if this has ever happened to you while you're in a meeting and you wanted to say something really, really important, it's because you were muted. If you're muted and you want to unmute yourself, just press the spacebar and hold, and you'll be unmuted and you can say whatever you need to say, and once you're done, just let go of the spacebar and you'll go back to mute. Easy, right? To say stuff, press spacebar and hold. Once you're done, just let go of the spacebar. Got that? So from the top, we talked about focus, we talked about fatigue, and we talked about the spacebar. Keep these 3 things in mind, and Zoom University will be a piece of cake.
Thank you, Duncan. That was very helpful. I already knew the spacebar one. Did you guys know?
I did, yeah.
I just burped, and I think a little bit of silkworm
The
came out.
silk-
That's
Well,
disgusting.
That's gonna distract us for the rest of the thing.
It's still
Moving on. We have to move on. Moving on. We are going to tackle the question now, what does God want me to major in? And as I was thinking about this question this past week, I thought, what are the top majors in the US? Okay, so in the chat, why don't you guys help me out here? What do you think are the top 10 majors in the US? Give me some suggestions, okay? Top majors in the US. What do you guys think?
So definitely computer science is up
Yes,
there.
that has to be up there.
Yeah,
computer
and
science.
maybe some like health related, bio or something. But honestly, I'm not too sure.
I'd say probably something business.
Business.
They're saying psych,
got
bio,
bio,
business,
econ.
econ, CS.
Wow, a lot of bio.
CS,
yeah, computer. Okay.
English.
And it's just
Society and
blowing up now.
environment.
wow,
Society
that's a lot.
environment.
Poli
Society
sci.
environment?
BIZ.
Society and environment.
Hey, don't be hating on society.
I'm not hating. I'm just top majors in the U.S. All right. Okay. Well, we asked our friends Mario and Josh to help us answer this question. So here's their take on it, as well as the answers. Let's take a look.
Hi everyone, my name is Mario. I am math and what's up?
Huh? Oh, go.
All right, we're starting over. We're leaving that in there.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, my name is Mario. I'm a senior at Cal and I am studying math and data science.
Hi, I'm Josh. I just graduated and I study data science.
Josh, what do you think the top 10 majors in the United States are?
Just in terms of like popularity, probably like, CS and like engineering, right?
It's the logic. It's all about reasoning and logic and numbers. It's math, bro.
Math?
Yeah, math is the best.
Like economics? How about journalism?
Are you serious?
Yeah.
Journalism.
Maybe not journalism, but just like communications, like just in general, like mass communications, marketing, like those are pretty big like areas,
So we have CS, math, business,
Yeah.
econ, and communications.
Yeah. And then you could even throw English, 6. I would say English.
Like teachers. You're really humoring me today.
like
English. How about law? Like people going into law school want to become a lawyer. I think that's pretty up there.
Like just check out Princeton Review's top 10 college majors.
Oh, I see it. Computer science first.
Yeah.
Communications. I can't believe you were right.
It prepares you for a wealth of career options in business, advertising, human resources, public relations, government, education, media, and social services.
Wow, that does sound appealing.
Yeah. Maybe you should have been in communications.
Wait, math is coming, I'm sure. I have hope. I have hope.
Oh,
Political science?
Political science.
Oh, wait, we guessed something similar though, like pre-law or...
yeah. Let's
Okay.
see, number 4.
Business, okay.
Yeah.
Let's get it there.
Economics.
Econ. Where's the math? They're forgetting the most important major.
English.
Oh yeah.
English.
English.
Oh, psychology. Okay. Oh.
Nursing.
Oh, nursing.
That is good, yes.
Chemical engineering. Okay.
Engineering had to be up there.
I'm surprised it's all the way at 9th actually. All right, let's go number 10. Biology. Okay, biology. Math didn't even make the top. I'm sure math is number 11.
I'm sure. All right, so our next question was, if God wanted you to major in one of these, what would he want you to major in?
I don't know if God like cares that much. There's a certain level of practicality to it.
And I'm saying that, yeah, choose your major wisely because that will depend later on how you go on your career. It's not based on the money, but it's based on finding a job and providing for yourself.
Will be able to help me provide for myself and my family and be able to do ministry and serve God, right? I think those are the choices that you have to base your decision off of.
All right, what do you want to say for the end, Lee?
I don't know, whatever comes to your heart.
All right, thank you guys for watching this. This is bad. Okay, take this out.
Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy this, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe.
Yeah, see, I'm not a YouTuber. How would I know?
Well, actually, the most important major, Mario, is public health, which needs to make it on that list ASAP because this pandemic has revealed massive holes in our healthcare system. Just saying.
Preach.
I just want to say, there were a lot of social sciences on there.
Wow. Pseudoscience? Wow.
I didn't even know communications was a major, but
It's a real major.
apparently that's a thing.
Yeah.
And for all these English majors, where are they all? Where are all the English majors if it's so popular?
They're at the Princeton Review writing that blog post. Oh, got him, coach.
English majors are great. You're all great people.
You're all great people.
Oh, great.
All right, so what does God want me to major in? Josh and Mario try to tackle that question at the end. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think about this question?
All right, so obviously there's stuff God would not want you to do, like being a hitman or a drug dealer.
Obviously.
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 Right, Justin?
Obviously.
Right, okay, yeah. I can be pretty confident that God would not necessarily want us to do those things. Not that you can major in those things anyway.
Yeah, like if your college has a hitman major, that's a major no-no. You got to have boundaries. All right.
But let's back up a minute. So What's behind this question? Why do people try and figure out what major God wants them to get into? Well, I think it's because people have this idea that God has some major, like specific major picked out for you. Like it's your destiny to do that.
Yeah, it's your destiny. Like it really scales up to that. It really feels that way because of like, I don't know, maybe we think like a butterfly effect, depending on your major, that's going to determine your internship, which is going to determine your first job and your career. And then that's going to determine your livelihood, your lifestyle, raise a family, all that stuff. So it's really stressful, right? It really feels like you have to get the major right and then you get the rest right. So it's a big source of drama, a big source of stress.
Yeah, so it's definitely a source of drama for me after I studied and majored in public health when I received a job offer in marketing, still in the health industry, but it's not exactly what I had envisioned. I had high hopes of fighting for health disparities and becoming a lifelong advocate for vulnerable populations and working for a nonprofit. And taking this job would mean that I would be working for a for-profit company. So my career path would be a little different. So this is probably silly, but I felt conflicted to accept the offer because I didn't think it aligned with what I had studied.
So basically, you're a sellout.
Basically.
Yeah, put it that way. What the heck?
Esther's great, guys.
Wow, thanks, Justin.
Okay.
One nice thing you said.
I studied mechanical engineering. I hated it, especially for the first 3 years. The fourth year was a little bit better, so that kind of brought it back. But yeah, I was too stubborn to change, even though so many people said, change your major. It's a hard major. Programming makes more money. Programmers will have an easier time finding a job. And I was like, no, I'm an engineer. I must overcome. And so I stuck with it. And yeah, I hate my major.
Are you okay there? All right, well, a lot of dramatic stories here, especially right here. But I think it goes to show, like, man, for college students, this is a big deal, right? You really take this decision seriously. And yet at the same time, it's kind of not that big of a deal. I mean, like Esther, you studied public health and then you're in marketing, right? So there's a lot of people who don't even do what they majored in college, right? And so, man, maybe it's not as big of a deal as we thought. I mean, for me, I did city planning in college. Now I'm a full-time college minister, so what was that? City planning is very important. Anyway, I think those are some great thoughts to start off this conversation. And to continue this discussion, we're going to go to a brand new segment called Cup of Joe, where I interview one of our friends, Joe, about a question. Joe is a friend of A2CN. He's a former lawyer turned college minister. He also has the honor of being the oldest person we will have on our show thus far. Everyone applaud? Yay. And I'm going to get his take on this question. So let's get our Cup of Joe.
Cup of Joe with your average Joe. Cup of Joe with Joe.
Hi.
Hi, Joe.
Wow, that was a great jingle.
Yeah. We had to, we went for something a little old-fashioned to match,
Right.
your age.
Well, thank you for highlighting my age.
You're
and,
welcome.
That I get the, award as the oldest person ever on this show.
Yes.
Maybe people in the chat can guess how old I am or something.
Yeah. Don't be too harsh, guys. Don't be too
No
harsh.
3 digits, okay?
All right. So, Joe, the question we're talking about is, what does God want me to major in? Can you tell me about that question?
Yeah, that's a really interesting topic. It hits home for me, especially because I took a lot of turns and made a lot of changes. I was a bio major throughout undergrad, pre-med the whole way. After I graduated, I worked in a chem lab, biochem lab. Then I kind of switched gears and I went into the whole startup route, trying to go into the tech field.
Yeah.
Right. And then I went to law school and practiced as a lawyer. And then I made another big turn and I went into full-time ministry after that.
Wow. Wow. So either you're like a jack of all trades or you're just really indecisive. I can't tell.
Or both.
Both, yeah. Or I should say a Joe of all trades.
Yeah, thanks.
That was terrible. I'm sorry. Okay, so back to the question. What does God want me to major in?
Okay, well, I think to cut to the chase, there's actually not much biblical support for the idea that God has a specific major for you, a specific plan for what you should study.
Really? Wait, because, back up. Your major, your career, that's a big part of your life, right? And if God has a plan for your life, wouldn't that be part of the plan?
Yeah, I mean, I think you're right that God has a specific plan for your life, but picking one major versus the other, like history versus biology, I mean, I don't think that's going to hijack God's plan for you.
Okay, I like the way you put that. It's not going to hijack God's plan for you. Like, it'd be really weird if God's up there in heaven and he's like, no, Joe, I wanted you to do history, not engineering, right? And like you can derail God's plan for your life with just that one decision.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
makes sense.
exactly. I mean,
Yeah.
let me give you an example. I have kids. I think I'm a pretty loving dad. But you know, if they were to ask me, oh, like, what would you like me to have for breakfast? You know, like, I don't think I'd really care that much as long as it's healthy. Like, whether it's scrambled eggs or like Honey Nut Cheerios. You know, I don't want you to be eating like cocaine for breakfast, but like, you know, just as
Okay,
long as it's healthy.
Or for lunch or for dinner.
Yeah, yeah,
It's not a
yeah.
balanced part of the meal.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. Okay. Okay. That analogy makes sense, and I kind of see where you're coming from. Maybe it's not that as big a deal as we think it is, but the Bible does talk about how like God has a plan for our lives, right? And people talk about it. You know, they say, "What's God's will for your life?" You know, when you're thinking about your major, you're like, "What's God's will for my life?" So if the Bible doesn't talk about your major and your career that specifically, what is it talking about then?
Well, let's look at some characters in the Bible. I mean, there's some people that I think come to mind when you think of people who God had a specific plan for. So someone like Joseph, God had a plan for him. Yeah, great guy, right? Great name. And God had a plan for him to save, you know, the known world there from famine and starvation. Moses, God had a plan for him to free the people, free the Israelites from slavery. And, you know, if you look at these people, you know, they had a lot of different changes in their career. What they studied or were experts in didn't matter.
Like Joseph was a slave and then became the prime minister. And then like Moses was Prince of Egypt. Great movie, by the way. And then he became a shepherd, right? So change of profession right there.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's not really their expertise or what they were trained in that really matters so much as their character and their obedience to God. And, you know, people often talk about like, what's God's will for me? Is his will for me to major in this or that? I actually did a search for Bible verses, you know, of what is God's will.
You can do that now. It's really easy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, you know, I found some verses here and I'll just go ahead and read them to you. Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay. So 1 Thessalonians 4:3-4, for this is the will of God, your sanctification, that you abstain from sexual immorality, that each one of you know how to control his own body in holiness and honor. 1 Thessalonians 5:16-18, rejoice always, pray without ceasing, give thanks in all circumstances, for this is the will of God in Christ Jesus for you. 1 Peter 2:15-16, for this is the will of God, that by doing good you should put to silence the ignorance of foolish people. Live as people who are free, not using your freedom as a cover-up for evil, but living as servants of God. Okay, so all of these verses about God's will, okay, do you notice a pattern in these?
They're all about God's will. Yeah, like no, but that's really clear, right? It says the will of God, right? It's very clear that that's what it's about.
Yeah, and so, I mean, you know, it's all about the will of God, but you know, it's pretty silent about like the details of choices you make, like things like what you should study, right? And if you look at them, the will of God verses, they all have to do about things about your character and obeying God in certain ways. So the 1 Thessalonians verses, they have to do about personal purity and sanctification, or about rejoicing and being thankful, having that posture of gratitude. The 1 Peter verses I shared, it was about how to treat other people, how to love them, how to be a servant. Right? And so none of these verses, they have anything to do with like these kind of decisions about, you know, what major you should choose. And so when it comes to doing God's will for your life, it's about obeying God, maturing in your character, to be more like him, right? To serve others, to love others, to be morally pure.
Wow. That's really good to hear. Well, so what I'm feeling right now is a lot of relief because I don't have to spend so much effort trying to figure out what my major is and not derail God's plan for my life. You know, I can choose my major based on a variety of factors, you know, what I'm good at, what other people know about me, you know, what I like and I enjoy, what's going to get me a decent job, really, you know, practical wisdom, stuff like that. But then the other thing that I'm feeling is now even more weight. I'm feeling something's even harder. And it's this idea that like, following God and following the will of God means I have to become a certain kind of person with a certain kind of character, like you mentioned, right? And that's the stuff that really matters. I liked how you put it earlier. Like it's like we think that major and career that's what really matters. But what really matters is character and obedience to God. I often get that flipped, right? But now that I'm like thinking about the right way, that feels really hard. You know, like I have to develop character and obedience, like no matter where I am, what I'm doing. That's pretty tough.
Yeah. So I think you got it just right. Like, it's easier and harder at the same time. It's easier. I mean, man, like just picking your major, that's hard enough without trying to figure out some mysterious will of God for that. But at the same time, it also means it's harder because whatever you major in, whatever field of study you're in, you have to uphold yourself as a Christian, as a disciple of Christ. And so what does that mean? Like in your studies, obviously you're not going to be cheating or copying off other people.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah, and it also means like you're going to have to work hard and be diligent and not slacking off in your classes. I think of Apostle Paul. And, he had a job, to support himself as a tent maker. And so I think he probably did a good job making tents. Like he didn't make cheapo tents that were going to fall apart.
Yeah, Amazon bestseller.
Yeah, 5 stars, right? And then in Colossians, there's a verse that says, whatever you do, work heartily as for the Lord and not for men.
Yeah, that sounds really good. That sounds really good. Like, whatever I'm doing, I'm gonna make sure I'm honoring God in it. I gotta be a good person, full of integrity, that sort of thing. But what it sounds like is that's all you're saying. It's like the will of God for you is to just be a good person, just be a morally decent person in your job, and like that's it. Is that it?
Well, no, it's actually, that's just the baseline.
Oh, okay.
So
there's more.
I mean, like that's just a given. As a Christian,
that's true.
You're supposed to follow God, obey God.
Yeah.
Work on your character. But it's much more than that, because the commands that God gives us is not only to have good character at your workplace, but you're also called to share the gospel with people, to be a minister, to be blameless at school and work, and that's. In addition to good character, your call is to be a minister. And there's a verse in the Bible that I think really brings us home. It's 2 Corinthians 5:18-20, and it says, all this is from God, who through Christ reconciled us to himself and gave us the ministry of reconciliation. That is, in Christ, God was reconciling the world to himself, not counting their trespasses against them, and entrusting to us the message of reconciliation. Therefore, we are ambassadors for Christ, God making his appeal through us. And what this verse points out is that this is our calling. This is our primary identity. We're ambassadors for God, and we're supposed to also minister to them and share the gospel with them so that they can be reconciled to God. And so your major, your career, these things, that's not going to be your main identity. It's just something you do on the side. It's your side gig, right? And that's what you see in the Bible. Like, Apostle Paul, his main thing isn't making tents, right? He's not trying to innovate or start, go IPO with a tent making startup or something like that.
Yeah.
Luke, he was a doctor, right? But his main thing was that he is a minister of the gospel, and so he was following Paul around and sharing the gospel with others. Like different Christians in the Bible, they had different jobs, different careers. Some were soldiers, some were government workers, whatever their job is. Their main identity, their main calling was to be a minister, an ambassador for Christ, share the gospel with other people.
I think that's really well put. Our main calling is to be ministers of the gospel, ambassadors of the gospel, and whatever your day job is, that's your side gig. Love that. That's good. Thanks for your hot take on this question. And man, I think we earned ourselves a cup of Joe.
Oh,
all right, yeah.
Great.
Yep. And this is not decaf, so we're not sleeping tonight. Here we go. Okay.
Right, thank you.
I'm going to go ahead and throw it back to you guys. Justin and Esther, why don't you guys finish this off? I'm going to enjoy my cup of coffee.
Oh, it's pretty good.
Thank you, Joe and Stephen. I really like the point that Joe brought up about how our primary calling is to be an ambassador for God. There's this cheesy story during undergrad when I felt super proud because I was working for my school's calling center, and I was really passionate about being a liaison and ambassador, right? And my church mentor told me, oh, you're that annoying person calling alumni to give donations to the school. And I was like, no, my job is more than that. It's not just about making calls to alumni to try to take their money. It's about giving back to students and fostering relationships with alumni to create meaningful conversations and persuade them to give back to a good cause. And my mentor was like, wow, I hope that one day you will go from being a student ambassador for your university to an ambassador for Christ. Man, like she really had, don't laugh. She really had vision for me. Like how much more of a privilege it would be for that to be my primary identity.
Amen. How much more? Yes, and I'm glad that you went through that.
All right, what story do you got, Justin?
I don't have a story, but what stood out to me was just that the paradigm shift in seeing myself as just my career versus seeing myself as someone who does my career. For example, I'm not Justin, the mechanical engineer, but I'm Justin who studied mechanical engineering. And it's really liberating because my value is no longer tied to how good I am at a certain thing, and I don't have to beat myself up over not being the best mechanical engineer in the world because, quite frankly, I'm not even a good mechanical engineer or a decent one. But it's okay because that's not what God cares about the most. So back to the question of what does God want me to major in? On one hand, maybe God doesn't care as much about this as we think he does. And, the Bible doesn't really talk about what you should major in or anything like that. And actually, when you look at the characters in the Bible and the verses on God's will for our lives, it's actually less to do with our major or our jobs and more to do with our obedience and our character, what's on the inside that counts. Yeah.
But on the other hand, God does care. God cares whether or not you can follow what he says clearly in the Bible about what he wants us to do. Every Christian has a calling to love others and share the gospel with the people around them. Every Christian has this calling to be an ambassador for God, helping other people be reconciled to God, and that's our primary identity and mission.
So a good question to ask yourself when thinking about your major or your career might be something like this. Can I be in this field without spending so much of my time and energy that I don't have room in my heart for anyone else? And will I have time and energy to serve God and love others? And if the answer is no, then maybe that's not God's will for you.
Ultimately, what you major in is a decision you make by considering several different factors. What do you enjoy? What are you good at? What's going to lead to a decent job? Maybe you need to ask a mentor or a friend, someone who knows you, someone who you trust, because we all have blind spots, and we need to get the wisdom and advice from the people around us. Above all, I want to leave you guys with this question. Are you living out your calling as an ambassador of the gospel? Will that be your primary identity as modeled for us in the Bible, or will your primary identity be your career or your major? So we hope we've given you some questions and principles to think about as you navigate this decision.